For years, travelers believed one rule above all: always fly with carry-on only. It sounded smart, faster, cheaper, more control. But in 2026, that advice is quietly breaking. Airlines didn't announce a big change, no warning, no headlines. They just adjusted the system little by little until the smart move became a hidden trap. Now, the same carry-on strategy that used to save you money can cost you more, stress you out, and even leave you scrambling at the gate. This isn't about packing light anymore. It's about understanding a system that changed without telling you. And once you see it, you'll never travel the same way again. Number 1. Why carry-on isn't cheaper anymore. Most travelers still believe one thing: carry-on means cheaper. That used to be true. Not anymore. In 2026, many basic economy tickets don't include a full-size carry-on at all. You only get a personal item under the seat. Take United Airlines, for example. On domestic basic economy, overhead bags aren't allowed. Show up with a suitcase, you'll be forced to check it and pay around $65 at the gate. Same pattern with Air Canada. No carry-on included, only a small personal item. Want overhead space? You pay extra. But here's the twist most people miss. Some airlines now offer free checked bags with credit cards or fare bundles that include checked luggage while still charging for carry-ons. So you can check a bag for free but pay to bring one on board. That flips the logic completely. Because once you factor in carry-on fees, boarding upgrades, gate check penalties, your cheap carry-on plan can cost just as much or more than checking a bag from the start. And the worst part? Most travelers don't realize it until they're already at the airport. Number 2. The stress you don't see coming. Here's what most travelers underestimate. Carry-on travel isn't just about money anymore. It's about stress. Flights are fuller than ever. Overhead bin space is limited, and suddenly boarding becomes a race. You're standing at the gate, watching groups go ahead of you, doing the math in your head. Is there going to be space left for my bag? That uncertainty follows you all the way to the plane, because if bins are full, and they often are, you'll be forced to check your bag at the last second, right there at the gate. No planning, no control. Now you're opening your suitcase in a crowded line, pulling out medications, valuables, essentials, while everyone waits behind you. And that pressure starts early. You'll see passengers crowding the gate before boarding even begins, trying to get ahead, trying to secure space. Airlines even have a nickname for it: gate lice. Not exactly subtle, but it reveals the truth. This system creates anxiety on purpose. Add in dragging bags through long terminals, lifting them repeatedly during connections, squeezing into small airport spaces, and the mental load builds fast. Because now you're not just traveling, you're constantly wondering, will my bag even make it on the plane? That quiet stress. That's the hidden cost of carry-on in 2026. Number 3. The physical reality most people ignore. There's one factor almost nobody talks about: your body. Because lifting a carry-on into an overhead bin isn't the same for everyone. What feels easy at 25 doesn't feel the same at 60. And height matters too. If you're shorter, that overhead bin isn't just inconvenient. It's a struggle every single time you board. Even average height travelers feel it. That awkward moment standing there, trying to push a heavy suitcase above your head, hoping it doesn't fall, hoping someone helps. But here's the truth most people don't know. Flight attendants are not required to lift your bag. In fact, many airline policies specifically tell them not to avoid back and shoulder injuries. So if you can't lift it yourself, you're relying on strangers. And that creates a different kind of stress. Scanning the cabin, quietly wondering who you can ask for help. That's not a great way to start a flight. Now add real-life factors: shoulder or back pain, limited mobility, traveling with medical devices. Suddenly that simple carry-on becomes a physical burden. And it doesn't stop at boarding. You're dragging it through long terminals, lifting it in and out during connections, managing it in tight spaces all day. It adds up fast. For many travelers, especially older passengers, checking a bag removes that entire struggle. You walk through the airport with just a small personal item: less weight, less strain, less risk. And sometimes that alone makes the trip feel easier. Number 4. The packing limits that quietly hold you back. Here's another reality most travelers don't think about. Carry-on doesn't just limit space, it limits freedom. Because the moment you choose carry-on only, you're playing by strict rules. The biggest one? The 3-1-1 liquids rule. Suddenly everything becomes a compromise. Smaller toiletries, limited skincare, tiny sunscreen bottles. And if you're traveling longer or across climates, it gets worse. Cold destinations mean bulkier clothes. Multi-city trips mean more outfits. And none of that fits easily into a small carry-on. Now add real-life needs. CPAP machines, medical equipment, orthopedic shoes, compression gear. Your space disappears fast. What used to feel minimal starts feeling restrictive. With a checked bag, that pressure disappears. You bring full-size products, clothes you actually need, shoes that make sense for your trip. No guessing, no cutting corners. But here's the part many travelers overlook. Even if you manage to get your carry-on into the overhead bin, you won't have easy access to it during the flight, which means everything you actually need must still fit in your personal item, under the seat, at your feet. So the real strategy isn't carry-on only anymore. It's what you keep with you versus what you let go. And travelers who don't plan that properly, they feel it mid-flight when something important is just out of reach. Number 5. The control you think you have but don't. Most travelers choose carry-on for one reason: control. You keep your bag, you avoid baggage claim, nothing gets lost. That's the idea. But in 2026, that control is often an illusion. Because the worst situation isn't checking a bag, it's being forced to check it unexpectedly, right at the gate. No time to prepare, no time to think, and now everything important might be in the wrong place. Medications, documents, valuables, a change of clothes. You didn't plan for it, so you're not ready for it. That's where control disappears. But when you plan to check a bag from the start, everything changes. You decide what stays with you. Essentials go into your personal item. Important items stay within reach. And everything else goes in the checked bag intentionally. You can even prepare smarter. Use a tracker like Apple AirTag. Take photos of your luggage and tags. Know exactly what to do if something goes wrong. Now you're not reacting. You're in control. Because here's the truth most people don't realize. A planned checked bag often gives you more control than gambling on overhead bin space. Less surprise, less scrambling, less stress. And when something does go wrong, you're ready for it. Number 6. When carry-on still wins and when it doesn't. Now here's the part most videos get wrong. Carry-on isn't bad. It's just not always the best choice anymore. Because there are still situations where carry-on clearly wins. If you have a tight connection where checked bags might not transfer in time, carry-on is safer. If you're flying through airports known for baggage delays or mishandling, again, carry-on gives you peace of mind. If your trip involves multiple cities, trains or ferries, small hotels with stairs, constant moving every few days, dragging a checked suitcase everywhere becomes the real burden. Carry-on makes those trips easier. And if you're physically comfortable lifting and managing your bag and you feel calmer keeping everything with you, then yes, carry-on is still the right move. But here's the shift in 2026. There is no one best strategy anymore. The smartest travelers don't follow rules blindly. They choose based on the route, the airline, their physical comfort, and how much stress they're willing to deal with. Because what worked before might not work for you now. Travel is changing, quietly, constantly, and so are you. What worked 5 years ago might not work today. And that's not a mistake, that's evolution. For many travelers, especially older passengers or anyone dealing with mobility or medical needs, checking a bag is no longer the risky option. It's the calmer one, the smarter one, sometimes even the cheaper one. So the next time you book a flight, don't just follow old advice. Look at the system in front of you. Because in 2026, the real upgrade isn't flying carry-on only. It's choosing the option that gives you the least stress and the most control. And if you're planning to check a bag on your next trip, you need to know how to do it the right way. Because one small mistake at check-in can cost you time, money, or even your flight. Make sure you watch the next video before it happens to you.